Welcome to day one of the finals weekend of the Wales Netball FleetEV National League here at the House of Sport in Cardiff. We have had an action-filled 2 days already, one in Bangor back in May and in Ebervale just last month in June. And now these teams are back, raring and ready to go again. The FleetEV National League consists of 8 teams from all counties in Wales, filled with high-quality players. Now, these players do have to fit a certain criteria, as they cannot currently be a part of any current Wales squad, Cardiff Dragons seniors or pathway as a player or training partner, any other National Super League or Netball Performance League team, or any other national squad external to Wales. So these are the cream of the crop from the Wales teams. You might hear or see some previous Welsh feathers on the court, so keep an eye out for them today. This year, we have seen an extra addition of 2 teams compared to last year's tournament. And they are in the shape of Coastal Heat and Power Sparks, who are taking the court by storm since their first appearance in Bangor. They are enabling even more talent to be on show. Every team will play each other twice, with the final placing matches here tomorrow. So we can see who again takes that crown. Will it be Valley Volcanoes, who are last year's champions, or will someone else steal that away from them? Well, I'm Elaine Roberts, and I'm back again to soak up all this talent. But unfortunately, my co-commentator has been with me for most of the ride. Pamela Cookie has been stolen away for the Olympic duties, but we won't blame her for that. I am instead have the pleasure of the company of Natalie Pepperell, previous Welsh coach extraordinaire and current assistant coach at Island Netball. Good morning, Nat.
Good morning.
Are you excited about netball this weekend?
I am super excited. Obviously, I got the pleasure of watching these last year and have seen a little bit on online following you guys. And oh my goodness, the talent is extraordinary. It's just, and I was just looking through the list and looking at some of the players on court as well. And like, there's some names, like you said, that we've seen before. The defensive unit of this team, this Valley Volcanoes team. Oh, it's just goosebumps. I'm super excited.
Oh, it's been wonderful. We've had such fun watching these girls. So is there any team from last year that you're looking forward to seeing again this year? Anyone that you're just can't wait to watch?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've just alluded to the defensive setup of Valley Volcanoes last year. I found that really exciting. But also, you know what? I'm quite looking forward to this matchup. We were talking before about the fact that Valley Volcanoes have been doing really well, but the Northwest Fury as well. I just think they could be a team that could turn it over.
Oh, how exciting for the first match of the day. Well, let's take a look at today's fixtures then. We do have the teams today, making sure that we are getting both games in between them. So for the fixtures today, our first match of the day will be Valley Volcanoes versus Northwest Fury, now starting at 9:30. Second match of the day, Northeast Inferno versus Southeast Blaze. Then we have Power Sparks taking on City Flames. Coastal Heat will then be taking on West Wales Phoenix. Then we will see Northeast Inferno back on court against Valley Volcanoes. Northwest Fury will take on City Flames. West Wales Phoenix then against Southeast Blaze. And the final game of day one will be Power Sparks versus Coastal Heat. Those 2 new teams, excited to see them?
Yeah, very excited. And we were saying before, the best thing is, like, you see all these emerging talents. Some of the players that played last year can't play this year because they've actually gone through the system and ended up in a national side or playing for a Cardiff Dragons side. And that's exactly what it's meant to do. But that's the excitement of the talent that we get to see on court.
Absolutely. So let's quickly run through our starting sevens for these 2 teams then. So for Northwest Fury in goal shooter position, we do have Gwen Ann Williams. In goal attack, we have Ellen Barwick. In wing attack, we have Lucy McEwen. In centre, we have Lucy Leonard. Wing defence will be Lily Dudson. Goal defence, Steph Oliver-Smith. And goalkeeper is Steffi Studd. And for Valley Volcanoes on the opposite side of the court here in the grey and pink, we have Georgia Jenkins in goal shooter. Kerish Reynolds in goal attack. Catherine Titley in wing attack. Nick Cook, coach and player, in the middle and the centre. Sammy Jo Williams in wing defence. Her sister defensive partner, Stephanie Perry, at goal defence. And Tish Kidner at goalkeeper. The umpires for this match, Charles Jones and Kath Murray.
Lots of passes early on, but maintaining possession, which is a good sign. Whoa.
Steph Perry straight in there over the top, wasn't she?
Honestly, goosebumps. Oh, unfortunate there to get called for the replayed, but these front cuts already, Valley Volcanoes, they just take on the front of the player. They're like cutting around, and it takes the defender out of the situation, doesn't it?
Definitely. They have really great ball side work, don't they, just to force themselves in front. Not scared to recycle that ball. And first shot of the match for Georgia Jenkins.
She's so calm, such like a dad, isn't she? So calm on the shot.
Great turnover of Valley Volcanoes there to get their first point on the board. And a lovely dink over the top from Carish Reynolds.
Yeah, again, just being right close to the post, Jenkins, so getting herself in a good position as well to be scoring those. And that's the second time that Northwest Fury have tried to give it from distance. I mean, against this defence, they're going to have to take it to circle edge to pass that ball in.
Absolutely. I feel sometimes you have that tall shooter, but against someone like Kidner and Perry, you're going to have to look at something else, aren't you? And I think Fury are going to have to realise pretty quickly in this game that they're going to have to change their game management.
Yeah, and fair play to Gwen Williams, because she sat on the front and that didn't work, so she's held the back space, but it literally is that feed in. They're going to have to do more work on the ball to bring it closer.
And Nicola Cook read that like an absolute book and came in to steal that ball. And there is Carish Reynolds with her first shot of the match.
This is an early masterclass. Northwest Fury are going to have to try and put a dent in this scoreboard soon, aren't they?
Space held nicely there by Titley and Cook, making sure they're squeezing their defenders out. And a good contest by Steffi Stutt, the goalkeeper.
It really is. Again, though, like what they're doing so well for Valley Volcanoes is just holding their space. So Northwest Fury are going to have to get their feet off the body and keep those feet moving. That's a nice middle.
Tish Kidner again all over that ball.
But again, it's the feed from outside. She had the wing attack, Lucy, who was circle edge. She'd done a circle edge front cut, but instead of giving it to Lucy circle edge, opted to feed it in, and it's just not going to go over those defenders.
Well, there goes Lucy Leonard, a Loughborough University player, captain of this team. And Gwyneth Williams finally gets her hand on the ball. Didn't quite make it into the net, but Steph Perry will collect.
It's good defence here. It's a nice, just allowing that middle, but they were doing really well at keeping that structure. You can see it on the court. Just trying to make sure that they don't let that middle open up.
Fury delayed play really well then, didn't they? They kept the ball right up there, but Volcanoes took their time, weren't scared of didn't have to force the ball. Lovely feet by Catherine Titley, knew exactly where the circle edge was. And we are now at 6-0.
And it was a textbook centre pass, wasn't it? 1-2, in. Oh, that's unlucky because that was a beautiful triangle.
A lovely ball. Fury unlucky there with a contact call. Volcanoes spreading play well across the court, not playing in one channel, not playing too narrow, which is then spreading the Fury defence.
Absolutely, and the patience on the feed as well, but chance here now at Northwest Fury with that turnover. This is better play.
Barwick unable to swing that ball over.
And again, sometimes if you've just got that flighty defence, you need to take them out of the situation just by playing front ball. Doesn't matter if you do lots of little front ball passes and it takes 20 to get to goal, just don't put it in the air.
And Georgia Jenkins, again, has no problems putting that ball in the net for Volcanoes.
Good defensive pressure.
Lovely work there by Fury to confuse the space for Volcanoes.
They really did. They did such a better job of holding them up that time and sitting behind them almost, just making that last feed a little bit more inaccurate.
Oh, Ellen Bowick was wide open then, wasn't she, in the circle wanting that ball?
I know. I'm pointing. Pass it ahead. Look ahead.
We're pointing from the balcony.
But it's really hard, isn't it? When you're playing against a team, the scoreboards like this, sometimes it makes your vision smaller because of the pressure.
Yeah, you do get tunnel vision.
Oh, great hustle. It's great, really great fight here between Steph and Steffi at the back, goalkeeper and goal defence.
Yeah, they're doing well. We have seen a lot of these two over the past couple of days, and they're fiery players. They will go out on board, they'll put their body on the ball.
I mean, that was a long time coming, but that was due to the fence. They must be a bit frustrated. It just didn't fall their way when they were tipping it.
We have such good game readers here in Valley Volcanoes, and you almost have to try and work around the way that they're going to think as well, which makes it even harder for Fury, I believe. Ellen Bowick puts Fury on the goalpost.
And well deserved.
Goals, plays 1.
Yeah, well deserved.
Oh, and Georgia Jenkins strikes right back with a lovely shot.
Wowza. That's what confidence gives you as well, though, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's just, they're so good at it. If one offer's shut down, they clear out, the second offer pops through.
How important is it to have more than one option on a ball for every ball that you give?
Oh, massively. And you can see that when you see teams turn over ball quite regularly, half the time it's because there's only one option. So you're almost showing them where it's going to go. Whereas if you've got one option and then that draws players and then your second option comes through, it's a lot less readable. So it's a lot harder to fly, and yeah, it makes a huge difference. And also having the patience to give the second pass sometimes and not give the first one, like there. That could have gone straight into Georgia Jenkins, but actually what Nick did really well was hold on to it, waited for it to turn and then gave it. And so it's much cleaner.
Sammy Joe there drawing contact from Ellen Bowick.
And that's experience as well, isn't it? Being able to draw that contact.
And absolutely wonderful support there by Kerrish Reynolds. I don't know if you saw that, but Seth Perry was just about to go off the court. Oh, and that is also very important, isn't it? To always back up your player who's chasing a ball.
Absolutely.
That pressure again on defence.
But it's almost, again, they're playing into it. They're playing it over players, whereas the difference is when Northwest Fury set up a beautiful zone as well in the middle, Nick Cook came through the middle of it. So it's, it really is that take the pressure, absorb the pressure and punch through the middle. One or two things will happen. You'll either get the ball or you'll draw in the players, and that opens up the wide. But you have to earn the wide.
Well, Georgia Jenkins is currently on fire here, putting all these balls in the net. I don't think I've seen her miss yet.
No.
But we say that in commentary and we always jinx the players, so I'm sorry, Georgia.
This could be the time it doesn't happen.
Oh, we do hope so.
Oh,
and again, on the buzzer, but we do have a contact call.
I want to know what she had for breakfast.
So Gwenna Williams will take the penalty, and it does go in the net. But yes, I think we'd all like to share what Steph Perry has for breakfast. So the score on that first quarter time, 13 to Volley Volcanoes, 2 to Northwest Fury. Thoughts on the first quarter, Nat?
Oh, you know what? It wasn't quite as I expected it to go. I did expect Northwest Fury to come out a little bit stronger, but to be honest with you, I think the credit actually lies with Valley Volcanoes in the fact that they were keeping them off circle edge. They know they've got flighty defenders at the back, so they've obviously been given the instruction: centre wing defence, hold them up, keep them high, big arms over, make them put that ball in the air.
Absolutely. So if you were now sitting with Northwest Fury as their coach, seeing that the gameplay that you've put in place of trying to put that ball into Gwenna Williams is not quite working, what would be your wise words for them?
It'd just be, look, it's going to be a hard slog out there, but we're going to have to play a lot of give and goes and a lot of front position. So instead of going back for the ball, earn the front space, work the front space. You know, once you've drawn those defenders then in nice and close, then you've opened up the back space. We talk sometimes about earning passes. You have to earn a long ball. You have to earn a wide ball by doing the work to create lots of short ones sometimes to open that up. Rather than giving the long one because we think it might be on, you play in straight into the hands.
And patience is key, right?
Absolutely. I mean, to be fair, I think they've had patience in time. Like the first centre pass right at the beginning of the game, we saw them do quite a few passes before they decided to give it in. But it's almost recognising the fact that's fine. Sometimes even when they're patient for a bit and then they give it in. It's almost like, I've got to give it now. Or they think it's open, but actually it's meant to look open. That's what they've set up. So yeah, patience, play it to the circle edge, and then let's try and play front ball a bit. Doesn't matter how many times you play the ball round, if you keep possession, the other team can't score.
Absolutely. And if you were the coach of Valley Volcanoes coming off the court with a 13-2 scoreline, any words for them?
Yeah, you know what? You always want to make it better. I know, like, we look at the score as in it's 13-2, but it hasn't been all their way. They have lost balls. There have been back lines. There's been sidelines. So, you know, Northwest Fury haven't sort of laid over and said, yeah, take it. So to them, I'd be saying, look, let's minimise our errors in terms of let's make sure that we're shooting close to post. I know we can shoot from distance, but let's shoot close to post. So let's work it round, be patient, because every time you give them a turnover, you're giving them an opportunity. And the next team you come up against, they might take that opportunity. So let's minimise our errors a little bit.
Absolutely. Well, you heard it here. Great words from a top coach. If only they could hear you from all the way up here, Nat. So let's see if Northwest Fury are now going to be changing any of their gameplay or their players. We are just scanning the court for you. We can see that Valley Volcanoes have changed their goal attack to Jade Balderson. So Kerish Reynolds has taken to the bench, and Nicola Cook has also gone to the bench, and Laurie Jenkins is in the centre court position. We also have Karis Llewellyn in goal defence, so they've also put Steph Perry to the bench for a well-deserved rest. Just scanning at Northwest Fury. However, I don't believe there is any changes for them.
And you know what? That's not surprising, to be honest with you. They've both got 2 games today. For Valley Volcanoes, you know, job done. In the first quarter, let's give everyone else a little bit of a run. They've earned the right now to be on the court. They've earned the right to have a rest. And actually, for Northwest Fury, they're probably saying, look, we can play better than this. So go back out there and prove it.
And you want to give your team that confidence, don't you? You don't want to, you know, yes, you might be down by quite a few goals, but you don't want to just take players off and then they drop their confidence even more then to go back on court later.
Absolutely. And look, great start.
Gwenna Williams kicks off the scoring for Fury and puts the ball right in the net.
Oh, they nearly went on the middle then, Northwest Fury. So they've obviously talked about that middle ball. You feel the pressure stepped up a little bit in that mid-court now.
And they're louder on court, aren't they? They're creating more noise. They're creating more energy on court at the moment for the second quarter.
Nice. Give the short ball.
And Williams has found her eye again. This is better from Fury.
It is, you know, they've played it a bit shorter. I think some of the balls are still coming off from circle edge. And if I'm honest, the difference for that not being turned over is probably a circle defence now.
Oh, Catherine Titley with a behind the head turnover ball, and they're in the pocket for the next pass. Wonderful work for the wing attack.
You didn't jinx her. She still hasn't missed.
I don't think she heard me.
That must be so frustrating for the defence as well. Oh,
But Tish Kidner,
yeah, just get out. She's like, no, you're not coming in. It's my house.
So strong in that defensive unit, isn't she? So strong.
It's funny because we do talk about, like, you know, goalkeepers make it your house, and my goodness, that belongs to her.
And it's always talked about, like in schools and in counties, where goalkeepers kind of the position that nobody wants to be in. But you see goalkeepers on court today, and they are absolutely smashing the game. They are so important, aren't they?
Just a bit of confusion there, taking out each other.
Steph Oliver-Smith and Lucy McEwen not quite sure of themselves.
Yeah, better. Take the front. This is good. Give the ball quicker.
Oh, Kidner again. Her reactions are off the scale. Better there from Lucy Leonard.
Yeah, it's a good decision to reset, you know. If it's not open, send it back, go again.
And there's that ball that you can give.
Yeah, the difference there as well was the goal defence, her body position, her angle. She was moving forward. Gwennon had Kidner on her back and then played onto ball rather than playing just straight up for the ball.
Much more patience from Fury then, working that ball in, wasn't there? There was more 5, 6, 7 passes than trying to give that 1-2 ball.
Yeah, and the final ball was on rather than, oh, should really give it in now.
And a lovely turnover from Fury from the defensive setup of the two Stephs at the back. I think Barwick realises that ball wasn't on and apologises to her team.
Yeah, it's that consistency, isn't it? But you know what? This will be learning. Once you've made that error, they've seen when it works. As long as now she doesn't do that again, that's fine. If she does it again as a coach, I'd be like, oh, really?
Some unforced errors coming in now for Volcanoes. A couple of footwork calls.
That's a great screen. Yeah.
Lovely work. Barwick right behind her and drawing the defence up to the ball, giving Williams all that space.
Yeah, and Williams set it up at the start by stepping across that back defender. It was a beautiful textbook screen. And
a lovely little sidestep there to force the front ball, but miscommunication between her and Barwick.
I think it came off like her little finger as well. Had a bit of a spin on it.
And another turnover for Steph Oliver-Smith. She has found her legs, but that ball not quite on for Lucy Leonard. And we are seeing a change here. Sammy Jo Williams is coming off, and Lauren Barber is taking on to the wing defence position.
Yeah, in fairness, good change. I think Sammy Jo has done a job, but I also think she was getting a little bit, she got pinged a couple of times for contact. So it'd be nice to see what the change brings.
Lauren Barber is a very deceiving player. She looks small, but she is very limmy.
And if she hunts stuff, she might be on for that purpose, you know, off the body, go and run on it.
16-6 the current score here between Valley Volcanoes and Northwest Fury, the first game of the day.
That was such a stunning triangle.
Oh, and Jade Boulderson, no problems for her.
Oh, such a strong 3-over as well. Considering this is like a new, you know, you had the starting defence and then you've got this defence set up. That 3-over was stunning.
Volcanoes are very consistent, aren't they, in the way they play and their game management. So no matter who you've got on the bench or who you've got on the court, they still play in the same way, and it's a really nice thing to have.
Yeah, it shows really good coaching as well.
Lovely change of direction there from Barber on that last second step, just to change her angle. Jenkins not scared to come out of the circle.
Oh, an unfortunate error, because that was really good defence structure from Northwest Fury.
And there is the pick-up by Lucy McEwen. Oh, and that forced ball in from the third line.
I know, I just looked at the time because I thought, oh goodness, were we close to time? But no, it was just a really long ball in and 2-on-1 as well.
3 minutes to go, but we are seeing a change here. Kidner took a little bit of a hit to the back. And coming on in the goalkeeper position.
Ooh, she dropped that, but no one noticed.
Is Ashley Bourne.
Is it 4-4 this quarter? I think it is, isn't it?
I think it is at the moment, yes.
Nice, calm, composed shot from Georgia Jenkins. Yeah, well defended. It was a strong double from the wing defence and centre.
Well, Fury are really showing us that they are made of stronger stuff this quarter. And Barwick with a better range of a shot for that. That was a lovely working shot.
Yeah, that was all the way from downtown, wasn't it? I think this style of defence is actually better for Northwest Fury. They are coming alive against these defenders at the moment.
Much more patient in their play, much more willing to move the ball around.
And it's amazing what a bit of confidence can do as well, isn't it?
Oh, we're hearing Steffi Stud scream from the back for the defence for her shooters. It's lifting the team, isn't it?
Oh, she's so good at that, isn't she? A sweep and run, and just that step, her feet, fast footwork.
Fast footwork, fast hands, gives you that extra little bit of room in the circle.
Strong double marking, but nice through from the goal attack. Timing is everything.
Oh, what a great chase, unlucky there from Lucy Leonard. Ellen Barwick saw what she wanted to do. Lucy Leonard changed her angle. Just miscommunication. .45 seconds left on the clock in this quarter, and Volcanoes zooming up the court.
Oh.
But a replay ball called for Lauren Barber, so Fury will be the ones trying to force the ball down, and it was a forced ball down.
I know, it's one of those, isn't it, as a coach, you're like, you really want to be cross because of the fact that that ball shouldn't have landed, but it did land, so you can't be cross.
And it was a beautiful shot. It didn't even touch the net. But now you're giving Volcanoes the chance to go again.
Yeah, but she's probably spent all that time saying, come on, like, let's be patient on the ball. And then the long one works, she's like, oh.
And Georgia Jenkins, with 7 seconds on the clock, puts that ball in.
They're going to take it.
I wouldn't have ran for that one, would you?
No. Oh.
And Gwennon Williams, off balance, almost falling off the side of the court, just misses that one as we hit the half-time buzzer.
But 7-all.
Valley Volcanoes 21, Northwest Fury 9.
Oh no, it wasn't even 7-all, was it? It was 8-7.
8-7 in that quarter compared to a 13-2 first quarter. What a change for Northwest Fury.
Absolutely, a massive change. You know what? Some of it was down to change in personnel. There's no point in sugarcoating it. Valley Volcanoes switched around their team a little bit, but they still played some really good netball. But actually, Northwest Fury did step up. They were a lot more patient. We saw a couple of times like that forced ball in over defence, but they seem to learn from it a bit. And defensively, their structure, I think they've learned from that first quarter as well. I mean, part of me is like, oh, it's slightly disappointing that the first quarter that they had, because what they've done now more is they started to shut down the middle, whereas they were quite wide in their sort of zone defence in the first quarter. Second quarter, they pulled that in a little bit, and when that middle balls go in, they're running on it and putting a bit of pressure on. And pressure is everything. When you've got players that are pretty much the same level, the mindset and the psychology is huge in the game. And if you can get that right, you can win. You can win so many more games.
Just by thinking it.
Yeah, it sounds really silly, doesn't it? But it really is. The top level of sport, I mean, these girls are absolutely phenomenal. And the top level of sport, mindset is huge. It makes such a big difference.
Absolutely. So do you expect to see any changes now from Valley Volcano, or do you expect to see the same 7 coming back onto the court?
It's tricky. This is a big call really for a coach, because what you want to do now is you want to reward that play. But at the same point in time, at 21-9 against a team like this, that you've still lost that quarter by a goal to, with all of their team now having taken to court, the chances of winning it are quite slim, being realistic, and they've got another game coming up. So now, you know, tough call as a coach. Do you reward those players because they've turned the game around and done a really good job and leave them on? Or do you say to them, great job, well done, and then bring on your other players who... And so Northwest Fury have gone, fine, I'm going to run with you. And that's happened at the centre pass. It happened on that one. They were unlucky not to get that turnover. Oh, well held.
What a reach from Titley straight into Reynolds.
And well chased from Reynolds, but doesn't quite land with her.
Oh, and Barber heads onto the floor, missed that open ball. But Fury will take advantage.
It was really nice, you know, last ball in, could have gone a bit sooner if I'm being really picky, but much better attacking play. And it's the decision making for me as well. She could have forced that, which they were trying to do before, but she went backdoor instead. I've just jinxed it, I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's definitely on you. But again, it was that long ball over, wasn't it, instead of a nice little triangle setup. But Williams did have that space.
Yeah, sometimes it's the positioning, isn't it? It was a long ball over, but it was a long ball over when everybody was in that line.
Absolutely.
And there was no width.
Lovely reach from Lorian Chadwick, but Jade Boulderson will have no problems putting that ball in the net, bringing our score to 24-12. And another hand-in turnover from Lily Doodson.
Yeah, and I don't think that ball was ever on. I think Jenkins probably could have made a better decision there.
And with that force ball in, they are getting a little bit messy on this court now, aren't they, Volcanoes? They're trying to force balls in quicker and quicker.
Yeah, it is that pressure, isn't it? It really does work. Wow, straight through the middle of three.
Three players, and Lucy Leonard has no problems taking that ball off them.
The smiles as well between them now. They're brimming with confidence. There was me going, you can't bring it back from that scoreline, but
I mean,
I might be eating my words here.
They're 11 down, but they'll bring it in with a 10 if they can get one back in.
This could be a crucial turnover, just something which settles the balance for Valley Volcanoes.
Steffi Studd saw that, but again, slightly too late. Didn't take her feet through the contact. And a lovely little pass through from Cardiff Reynolds to Boulderson.
I still think that was lucky that it landed. The keeper was so close to being on it.
What a cynic you are.
I really am. I'm like, well, that's not safe. I always put my seatbelt on.
So Valley Volcanoes will have another go at this. Catherine Titley, always in acres of space.
That is one of their trademark moves as well, isn't it? That triangle. And it's the fact that they don't sit in those positions waiting for it sometimes. Like Jenkins came round then to play onto it to the top. She knew exactly what she was setting up.
You've got players finding space to create it, haven't you? And it's working really nicely, and it's something that Fury can really pick up on. Lovely hold from Gwenna Williams. 1 foot in the air, 1 foot on the line. That's some really good core strength.
Yeah, she must have abs of steel.
Keris Reynolds on the run, nobody spotted her. Lovely take, unfortunately lost the ball. A little bit of patience needed from Fury now.
The problem that they have is that the Valley Volcanoes goal defence is not fully committing to the goal attack sweep, so they're going to have to be a bit careful. Those balls are landing at the minute, but if they don't start giving it to the goal attack as well, it's not going to work.
Williams comes out of the circle for that ball, but just couldn't get on the end of it. Barber bringing the ball up the court nicely out of this defensive setup of Volcanoes, so the attacking players don't have to come so high, so they can set up their attacking little area a bit sooner.
Yeah, but I mean, if I'm being really picky, the goal attack was nowhere to be found. She was watching it go through the court. you have to defend all the way through.
Absolutely. Just not sinking in for Bolton at the moment.
No, but again, this defensive pressure.
Oh, Steffi Stud right up in the air, like you said now, right on cue. Defensive pressure from Fury.
She just didn't give up on anything there at all, ever.
She's having a wonderful first game. And Barwick will put that ball in the net, punish Volcanoes for their error.
It's so nice as well as a defender if you get the turnover and it gets rewarded.
Oh, absolutely. Especially if you get a turnover and then it's just constant back and forth. It's tiring, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think it also, it makes them go on more, I think, at the back, because it feels it. Like you feel the confidence of, yeah, that was partly my goal.
Oh, Williams thought someone else was there for that ball. Didn't realise it was for her. Bourne to Llewellyn.
Nice middle.
Again, defensive work from Volcanoes, bringing that ball all the way up to the transverse line.
And the timing on that drive as well. It was beautiful.
Steffi Stud just breaking the barriers here in South Sport. And there she is again.
Yeah.
And wins the ball. Very contested, very right.
I was just about to say it's better centre passes from Valley Volcanoes because they're starting off the line now, so they're not getting in a running race. But yeah, still a turnover. Great pressure.
We'll give Fury a pass the first quarter after travelling down so far, maybe from North Wales.
But yeah, they're moving on to ball, aren't they? That's the difference. Nice. Hear the coach, take your feet.
Gwenna Williams, being one of the taller ones in that circle, would expect her to be all over those rebounds.
Yeah. She looks so calm as well when she gets it. She's like, yeah, there's the ball back. I'd be like, oh, I scored.
Slightly early movement there from Williams, but she does get her hands on the ball even.
Yeah, she had to reposition. She made that pass look good. That feed was really off.
Oh, Catherine Titley again, finding space so effortlessly.
She turns so quickly, doesn't she?
She turns her body before she's even got the ball in her hands, and it's so wonderful.
Oh, it was a good run through.
Lovely space for Williams. No problems from there. The score now 29-19, so it is within 10.
Slight different change of tactics going to be needed against this wing attack. She's just finding the circle edge so easily at the moment.
Ellen Barwick there, forcing that ball into Williams. Seeing the clock was running down. So at the end of this third quarter, we are playing 30 goals to Valley Volcanoes, Tantrum sponsored. And we are seeing 19 goals to Gowley Loft Conversions as Northwest Fury. So 10 put on the board by Northwest Fury. And 9 put on the board by Valley Volcanoes. Nat?
Yeah, it's just a better game, isn't it, overall in terms of being contested now. I'm not sure whether that cheer was for a player coming onto court or the fact that they won that quarter, because really that lifts them as well, and it was well deserved. Just like I said, they read the play better. They started running on stuff shoulder to shoulder. Credit to Valley Volcanoes, when things were breaking down, they changed up their strategy. So they had 2 centre passes that were intercepted, and then they started to work off the line. So they came off that running race. They did an interchange, getting the ball to the goal attack, and the wing attack started to hit circle edge. So, You know what? The smarts of Valley Volcanoes brought them back. They're such a hard team to turn around.
They are a hard team to turn around, and it's not just individual smarts either. It's how they all manage to turn it together and still work cohesively as a team.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's like changes of tactics as well in the middle of a quarter. And we talk about players and coaching players to be game smart players, because look, as a coach, you've got quarter time breaks and that's pretty much it to interject information. When things change on court, it's up to players to do it on the court, and that's what they do really well. I think for Northwest Fury, they've come back on with great tactics and great strategy. So they've started playing 2-ball, which is much, much better. They're moving the ball around the circle, they get into circle edge, they're doing all of those good things. Occasionally, every now and then, you know, a little error still creeps in, fine. But I think for them, it's more the fact that they have to go back for that input before it comes back onto the court. So something I'd want them to tweak is when you're going back to training again, it would be, do you recognise, when we look back at these footage, did you recognise that was happening? And if we're not recognising it, how can we make sure we recognise it on the court? Because look, they've got the skills. They've just shown it. They've absolutely smashed that quarter. They've got the skills to change their game and do what they need to do to turn a team over. But it's that recognition and recognising it early.
Absolutely. Absolutely agree. So some changes already pretty obvious from Valley Volcanoes. Coach and player Nicola Cook comes back onto the court in the wing attack position. Lauren Barber and Kerridge Reynolds still in those shooting positions. Jade Balderson, sorry. Lauren Barber has come on to the centre position, and Lowry Jenkins has moved back into a wing defence. Caris Llewellyn and Ashley Bourne have had a little switch around in that circle defence. For Northwest Fury, a couple of changes for them as well. Lucy Leonard has taken to the bench, and Bethan Phillips has come into the centre court, and Megs Hollins has taken on to wing defence, and Lily Doodson has had a well-deserved rest for this last quarter.
Yeah, and you know, not surprising that there's some changes as well for Northwest Fury. Firstly, you bring a whole squad because you believe in that whole squad, but secondly, you know, like we said, they've got another game. I think it's actually probably really hard for most normal human beings to come on back to wing attack. So Nick Cook going from centre, then having half off, and then coming back. If you were a normal human being, that would be really tough. Absolutely no doubt she'll smash
Nick Cook is not a normal human being, is that what you're trying to say? She's a machine.
She's a machine, yeah. She's literally a machine. Like most people would be like, oh, a bit tired legs, you know, get a bit stiff, but like, yeah.
I don't think she ever gets stiff, Nick Cook, does she? She just keeps going and going.
In the meantime, great defence from the goal attack.
Oh. I think you mentioned earlier the goal attack was nowhere to be seen on defensive line, and now she's stepped up to the mark.
Yeah, credit where credit is due.
Oh, and as we say, the machine Nick Cook gets taken out in the air, but she's back on her feet. Oh, and Balderson comes away with the ball against two defenders.
It was great hedging as well by the goalkeeper, because she saw that Nick Cook was free on the wide, but just couldn't get her feet back to cover Balderson. Yeah, nothing on in front.
Ball.
There was nothing on in front and no one on the line. I'm not sure she turned to look at the line anyway, but you've got to have those backups, have that reset.
Bethan Phillips, the centre cuts come on for Northwest Fury, is a Swansea University previous player, but is a Northwesterner at heart.
Great shot.
There is Kerridge Reynolds with that lovely arch and that ball to drop in. They are the sweetest shots, aren't they? It doesn't even hit the rim.
Yeah, she's such a good player. I quite like her as a goal attack. She was playing wing attack before, wasn't she? Or have I made that up?
I think you've made that one up, yeah.
Oh, okay. Anyway,
but
I really like her.
She is a great wing attack, actually. She does play a very good wing attack. I coached her at university.
I like the fact that she, you know, it's not always flash. She doesn't have to jump 5 foot in the air when it's just landed right in front of her. She just takes the ball, turns, does what it says on the tin, and does it really effectively.
No
I love players like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Great rebound by Williams.
Third time's the charm, maybe not.
That's your fault.
That's my fault. Fourth time's the charm.
It doesn't count as a miss, surely, if you get your own rebound. That's what I think.
Nah.
Oh, lovely.
Finding lovely space and a little give and go. And a lovely reset to Bourne on the line.
And such the smart of swinging it. She could see that it was open, because normally you don't necessarily want to swing a far side reset if it's covered, because it's hard to pass there. But what it did was open up the whole of that end third for Nick Cook. Stunning.
And she could see that there was no one on her. She was totally free, wasn't she? And it opened up, like you said, for Carish Reynolds to come out for that ball, for Jade Balderson to rearrange herself.
Yeah.
It changed the whole third.
Yeah, and it wasn't that she didn't have an inside offer, because she did. It was literally the smarts of seeing everybody's non-ball side. If I swing this, it's going to open everybody up.
All in 3 seconds.
Yeah, told you, not human.
Lovely ball by Lauren Barber. Jade Balderson running on to ball and popping that in the net to take our score to 35 goals to 22. It's not a runaway game, is it? It's not, you know, as we saw in that first quarter, we expected maybe for it just to be taken away by Volcanoes. But Fury have really worked their way back.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we say, they've tweaked every quarter. They've come back on. I think the difference in score that you're seeing now is possibly just, you know, settling of a new 7, which happens in all teams, to be fair.
A lot of pressure put on Williams there by Ashley Bourne, who came running in for that ball.
Yeah, really good defensive pressure.
Bethan Phillips got right on ball side there on the back of Lauren Barber and used her outside arm cleanly.
Oh, again.
I think Fury as well have taken out that initial zone, haven't they? And they've just switched to man on man, and because it obviously wasn't working for them. And that's a really good decision to make as a coach, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it depends on personnel again. Like we see when it's the thing that's releasing Valley Volcanoes is when Nick Cook does that long link. Man-on-man defence from the back line for Northwest Fury works really well until Nick Cook comes through for link, and then it opens it up. And again, that's the smarts, isn't it, of a really good player.
It's how you work with what's in front of you and how you shut that down.
Yeah, my guess is maybe they started with a zone because of the fact that they had like the really fast mid-court on. So they thought, you know, instead of running shoulder on shoulder, we'll start with a zone. We'll try and turn over that way. And then, like you say, smart to change it. Now she's back on. Is that going to make it difficult? Possibly.
Patience again here by Fury. Just waiting for that third second. The lovely little dink over to Ellen Barwick.
It was a stunning little pass, wasn't it? I was ready for it to shoot. She told me.
And Steffi Stutt comes off the court for Northwest Fury. And we have a change in the goal defence position, and Steph Oliver-Smith comes back onto the court.
I have no doubt that this is just resting her for the next game, because she is a phenomenal player.
She, I believe, I might be incorrect, but I think she was a training partner for the originally, but she played in Bangor and she played her socks off. And they were like, well, we can't get rid of her.
No, I'd have her on my team.
She had a phenomenal day in Bangor, and we were excited to see her again then in Ebervale.
Lovely timing onto that ball. Oh. Oh, she did go offside. Oh no, it's called as contact, but I thought the centre stopped her from falling in. Maybe that's what I saw. That's not actually what happened. That happens a lot.
Well, our umpires are some of the best we've got in Wales. Catherine Murray and Llynos Jones taking control of this games. We have got some A umpires, some B umpires here today. We couldn't do it without them.
No, and you know what? I think one of the best things that I always got told by an umpire, sorry, I'm getting excited by this circle edge drive, was the fact that actually, you know, we say we can't do it without them, but actually they're phenomenal athletes. The amount of court sprints that they do compared to some of the players is way more. Like, they're up and down, up and down, up and down.
They run so fast to be ahead of the ball, don't they? And
yeah.
It's, when I umpire, I'm more tired than when I play.
Yeah, same. And that's just a bog standard game, not one of these.
Not one of these games.
Sweet shot.
Lovely shot by Jade Balderson. Take our score up to the round 40 to play 24.
Be interesting to see Valley Volcanoes shooting stats as well, because they must be high. Look at that.
And it's
depth.
quality, isn't it? It's quality of shot over quantity of shot. And I always feel like, yes, you want to put as many shots up to get your team up there, but if you're not having a quality shot, then you're just losing opportunity.
Absolutely.
Well, Volcanoes have certainly taken this game away now in the last quarter. Like you said, some change of personnel required just to build up that goal difference, knowing that Northeast Inferno are right up there with their goal difference after putting 50 goals in one of their games last day in Ebervale.
We're not too, well, we are a little bit off that, aren't we?
We're getting up there, but here comes another change now. So Lucy Leonard is back on the court as wing attack, was previously on at centre. And she comes back on, captain of this team, onto wing attack.
Unlucky, because that was really good defence. Just getting a tip to that ball.
Just put her hand on it one too many times.
Yeah. That was well held. Still 30 seconds left. A positive person would say time for 2 goals, but definitely time for 1. Oh, look at this. There is time for 2. 20 seconds. Come on.
2 goals. Let's run it.
But still use your patience. 15 seconds.
Oh, Lauren Barber. I told you she had arms for days. Very deceiving. But here now, the Fury go again. Ellen Barwick, lovely little 1-2 Lucy Leonard. Can she put it in the net? Yeah, yes, she can! On the buzzer! Ellen Barwick, what a hero she is for Northwest Fury. The final score of that first match, Northwest Fury 26, Valley Volcanoes 43. Final thoughts on that one, Nat? How exciting was the end?
You know what, it was brilliant. It was brilliant. All the second, third and fourth quarter, sweet, really good. First quarter, you know, masterclass of netball. So for the netball geeks out there, they still would have loved it because there was so much to see on the court. As far as the competitiveness goes, not so great first quarter, but fabulous 2, 3 and 4. Really good.
Absolutely wonderful netball to kick us off for this day. So we will be back with you for the next game of today, which is Northeast Inferno versus Southeast Blaze. That will be a wonderful game to watch, so please don't miss it. Join us just before 20 to 11 to catch all the action for that one. See you in a bit.